apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
We are making the virtual HBC.
What's up, fam? Today is the 20th of July, 2022. I think we're gonna have a pretty good show. I got some of my truly outspoken ladies in the house. They are intelligent, they got the good looks, so you ain't got nothing to complain about who it is and who it ain't. We're gonna pretty much talk about all things women and figure out what's going on in this 21st century with men and why we insist on blaming women. But, before I get started, I got a super duper question, because I've been watching stuff, and I've been watching how we love to blame women for stuff. And don't get me wrong, some things are their fault. But this is what I want y'all to do for me. I want y'all to Google, and I'm gonna talk about the ladies with this too, because it's really bothered me. I want y'all to Google women who are shot for not saying thank you. Women who are shot for not saying thank you. That's got to be one of the most insane things I have ever heard in my entire life. Is that what we're doing? And then we blaming them for making bad choices? Women shot for simply not saying thank you because a man held the door open for him, because a man did something and he received no type of favor. I'm mystified. I'm flabbergasted. I'm confused. And I just don't get it. I know y'all love to say that I'm always taking a woman's side, and I got women here who take responsibility, because truly there are some things that are their faults. And this group of women, the reason I got them is because they will own up to the things that are their fault. But, big but, I only got a few guys who will own up to theirs. And I don't get it. Like I said, I'm gonna have these ladies here and we're gonna talk and we're gonna have some articulate, reasonable conversations, no screaming, no yelling, no disrespect. And we all got different opinions about things. Some things we agree on in totality, some things we don't. So we're gonna sit here and discuss the merits of, what's a good word, the fuckery that's going on that we seem intent on wanting to blame women for, just for being women. They supposed to know everything. And dudes just don't want to be held accountable under no circumstances. I'm just trying to figure out how that actually works. So that's how I want to start the monologue. Like I said, we got some topics. Y'all know how this works. If you want to say something, just, feel free to go ahead and chime in and ask the ladies questions. They ain't sensitive, just be respectful. We got some topics that they already know about. I see Miss Ann is here, so I'm gonna wait for her to cut her camera on. Trina Maria is gonna be joining us, as will Kirsten, and we're gonna make it do what it do as we do what we do. But again, let's fellas, let's spend more time making men step up and telling women what they should do. Ladies, spend more time telling ladies how to act instead of telling them what a real man would do. You know what works for you, they know what works for them. Stop thinking that we speak for the whole collective. I can't say what all men like. I'm not all men. I can say what DVP like. I can say what I've heard in conversation, but there is nothing that DVP likes that is the standard for men. There is nothing that DVP dislikes that is a non-standard for men. DVP can speak for his preferences. My super producer Roy's in the background and he bouncing around. But if you listen to me in his conversations, we got varied tastes. Both grown men, both black men. We don't have to like the same things for this to coexist and make everything happen the way it should happen. So, I just want y'all to stay focused on that narrative and realize you got these beautiful, beautiful black women out there who are independent in the sense that they can survive, they can progress, they can move on without us. And I'll let them tell you, but for most of them, that's not their choice. But they're not gonna just settle for BS, especially to get blamed for it. And as I'm watching this, we will constantly tell women to choose better. But then on the next post, we'll constantly be begging them to give us a second, third, fourth, 18th chance because we ain't like the next brother. And if they give us a chance and we screw them over, we blame them for choosing us. When they get here, because I got a major question, and fellas, I want y'all to ask, I'm gonna repeat this 2 or 3 times, because fellas like to perpetuate crazy myths. And I've seen too many guys make a statement about women want to be single parents. Well, all of these women on here are parents. And we're gonna ask them, was it their choice to be a single parent? Because as I've been reading stories, and I read quite a bit, I haven't seen too many stories of a woman who was involved with the man, go to the store, leave her child at home and never come back. But I've heard a bunch of the stories where men just left and came back. So with that being said, because I'm ready to get started, and I got Principal Ann here. She's smart. She good looking. She got a lot to say. She don't bite her tongue, and she ain't scared of none of y'all. I just want y'all to know she armed too. So don't say nothing to her, and don't walk up on her. So, Ann, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, gang. I am Ann. I live in Monroe, Georgia. As DVP said, I'm a principal. Have been for about 10 years. I got 2 kids. And I'm just Ann from Adamsville.
Ann from Adamsville. I'm at the Principal Ann from Adamsville.
There you go.
And I see Kirsten that snuck in here. So go ahead.
Hey, gorgeous.
Go ahead, Kirsten. Step on in here and introduce yourself.
Hey, how y'all doing? I
am Gucci over him.
I am Kirsten. I am an entrepreneur, a mom, a homeschooling mom of 3. Look at this one right here. I want to be all in the camera. Come on, sit down.
Ain't nothing like a co-star.
Right. She just doing the most. Come on, stop. And born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, the heart of Atlanta. Bankhead Courts to be exact. And I'm just glad to be here.
Hold on, Kirsten, you was at the Soul Patrol games?
Huh?
You was at the Soul Patrol games?
No, see, I'm in a whole different generation.
Okay. I'm like, I don't remember you from my Soul Patrol days. I don't remember you.
Nah, see, that wasn't my generation.
Hold on. It sounds like you're trying to call me old on the slide. Don't know what I'm saying? Don't. And you heard that, didn't you? Ain't that what it sounded like she said?
See, my 2 cents. I just heard her say like she don't know about that part.
Right.
She came through the show throwing jabs. She just called me an old man on the slot on my show.
No, you good.
And before we get started, while we waiting on Trina Marie to make that queen entrance, I got these two ladies. I met these two ladies on my friend's show, Robert Stafford, The Overflow, with their regular guests, and I like what they had to say. I like their intelligence, and it's nice to have conversation. Y'all know I'm a little shallow. I ain't got no shame. Ain't nothing like having an intelligent conversation with a good-looking woman. I don't care what nobody say. I'll be what you want me to be, but the truth shall set you free. So that's what's up. Trina Marie, how you comment?
Just real quick though, DVP. Just real quick. We are on a show. We are on a podcast on Wednesdays nights, but we're not guests. We're hosts.
Oh snap! What? Yeah. Okay, well, make sure we get that in at the end of the night, because you ain't told me nothing about that. And Trina, where you at?
We host. We host on the group. We not guests.
I know. So, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna talk about that at the end. Trina coming, but she ain't cut her camera on yet. So I don't know. And Kirsten, Trina said you called me old. So we I
was just saying.
Hey, no, Shawty, we suiting up. We coming over. So you know what I'm saying? Get your squad ready.
Mature. You just don't
try to change now.
Clean it up. I love it.
You just more mature and have a little bit more wisdom than I do.
It sounds good, but I ain't buying damn deal. All right. So I picked these, like I said, I picked these ladies for a particular reason, because I listen to them. I listen to them tell their stories and share their truth. And what I dislike is when women try to say things to be politically correct all the time, because life is not politically correct. And sometimes we miss things because we're so busy trying to be accepted by everybody. Life is happening, shit happen. And fellas, we gotta know when we wrong. And these ladies know when they wrong, so it ain't like they just sitting back blaming men, because I had a few of them who wanted to come. I can't, y'all know I don't like excuses from nobody. Nobody. Everybody do something wrong. The reason I defend women more so, because I don't hear women asking for submission. I don't hear women saying, let me be the queen, follow me. I don't hear this. So yeah, I do defend women a little bit more, because guys seem to love to make that statement, and then they don't want to do king shit. But when you get a queen, these women will tell you, like I say, and gave me some confessions on the show. I was like, oh, that's what's up. I'm listening to Kirsten give her a confession. I'm like, oh, what's up? I'm writing it down. So yeah, I gotta get to know them. And Trina getting her little drink on so she can come in. You know how she doing her little thing. When you married to the host, you just do what you want to do sometimes. They take advantage of their executive privilege. But I know these two women know nothing about that, because they don't take advantage of nobody, right? See, laughter is a sound of guilt. I learned that from being a shad. When they laughing, that doesn't mean they're guilty. So they ain't got nothing to say. All right, so as Trina getting ready, I want to go ahead and just y'all ready to just jump into stuff, or y'all need a little cushioning, we
can jump in if you want.
That's what we do. Come on with it.
All right, there we go. All right, let's start with something simple. How important is marriage? How important is marriage to you, or to the circle of girls that you hang around with or talk to or interact with?
For me, a healthy marriage is very important. A marriage, not so much important, but a healthy marriage is extremely important to me.
Is it on your gotta do list before you die?
No, not so much. I would definitely love for it to be organic. I think when you put things on a list, it's not so much organic, but if it organically happens, then that's great. And if it doesn't, that's just not what's in line in the stars for me.
I got you, Kirsten.
Yes, I agree with Ann on a healthy marriage. I am happily married at this time in my life. I've been married. Well, this year will be 7 years we've been married, and Marriage was always a goal for me. But what I do know is that okay. What I do know is, if anything was to happen between me and my husband, or, I don't think I will ever get married again. I may be in a committed relationship or something else of that sort. Marriage is definitely work, hard work, that I wasn't at first willing to put the work into, honestly. So, it's very important, just agreeing with Ann, it's very important that you have a healthy marriage and that both individuals have a common goal, that we're both on the same page and have a common goal, and we're working together to get to the same destination. I'll say that.
I don't think most people realize how much work you got to put into having a good marriage. It's a lot of work, and then if you add that with a job, and I tell people that's why people don't understand when you get married. It is much more different than dating, and you don't have the same time you had because now you're trying to coexist with somebody as opposed to having your own space to chill and let them come over when you're in the chill mode, and it ain't as easy. And And this is so crazy because I hear guys always talking about what women do and what they don't. And this is one of those things where we need more women to stand up and tell us, because we don't know how to deal with emotions. We'll call you emotional, but we won't ever address how to deal with it because we've never dealt with it. And that's a big portion for men. And at some point, to have your successful marriage, y'all got to be able to sit back and tell us how we have to respond to y'all as opposed to treating y'all like we did women in the past or our male friends.
Right.
So, at one point, I hear people talking about marriage. Some people feel like their life ain't complete till they get married and they get into an answer. They just get into a marriage and there's nothing organic about it. Because, I tell people, I hate when I used to hear women saying, oh, we started dating, I need to be married within a year. So you ain't even trying to get to know me. You already got your clock just started running. I'm scared of those type of women who have a time frame for the marriage. Oh, I got to be married by 31, 35, 42. And that's just insane to me. So, and you the only single woman on the panel?
You say single.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, you the only unmarried woman on the panel?
Am.
Okay. So this question gonna be strictly for you then.
Got it.
Because I hate when I see the post that says if you're not married, you're single. Because I think that means you don't understand what a committed relationship is. Give me your thoughts on that post, because you're clearly your objection was leading me there.
No, I don't think that's I don't follow that statement. I am very much in a committed relationship. I have tunnel vision because I'm in a committed relationship. I don't see in a relationship manner or a sexual manner, I don't see people around me. I'm very much happy. So yes, I'm very much committed. Do I feel like I think marriage takes us to a whole nother different place within the relationship, but I'm on the step where I am completely committed to you. I'm not going outside of anything. So those things you don't have to worry about. But no, we're not single. We're not single at all.
Okay. And that's always a great point. And you say you got 2 kids. Kirsten, how many kids you got? 3?
I have 3 biological and 5. Well, a total of 5. My husband has 2. I have 2 bonus children.
Okay, that's what's up. So you're a bonus mom.
Yes.
And you've been married 7 years. That's the first time I heard that. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You snuck that one. You snuck that one in on me. Yeah. So. Let me go back to Ann first, since Ann is the committed relationship yet. Ann, what made you commit to this guy?
It actually wasn't like a thing. I just kind of looked up and realized, damn, baby, we together all the time. We do everything together. We just around all the time. It's just something that became, not even so much as something that we focused on. I just looked up a year and a half later and his ass was still around. And we've just been doing that ever since. I don't have fun like I do with anybody else. I don't get excited the way I do with him with anybody else. So that just kind of solidified our committedness, and we've just been living in that sense. But it wasn't a conversation that we had. It was just understood based on how we was vibing that we both had the same organic feelings towards each other.
I'm gonna tell you, like I told Trina, you Wonder Woman him, didn't you? He didn't even know what happened. You just got him. I told Trina, I just came. We supposed to have lunch and everything. I know she lived with me and we met. I'm like, how that happen? I don't remember none of the. I don't remember none of the middle. What happened?
What it is.
I looked up. I got women living in my house, taking over closets and stuff. I'm like, wait. I was single 26 minutes ago. Now you telling me. What happened?
We go together, okay?
Right. And, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, one of the subjects we want to talk about, Katrina's taking way too long here. Roy, can you play the video? Because I want to talk about women and their relationships with each other versus the men that they date or get involved with. So Roy's going to play a quick video, because when I saw it and I sent it to you guys, I was like, wow, that's an interesting concept. You with me, Roy? Maybe he ain't with me. Maybe I need to send him a message. All right, we'll wait on Roy to come back for that one. All right, okay, okay, I see Trina Marie is in the house. All right, let's Roy come back. Let's talk about sex in its purest form, because I see a lot of people, again, blaming women for having babies, and saying they need to stop having sex, they need to do this, they need to do that, they need to stop having babies until they get married. How logical or realistic do you think that is? Insanity.
It's insane. We are sexual beings. It's not going to happen. Different strokes for me and different strokes for different folks, but just a general, people like to have sex. They're going to have sex.
Kirsten?
Yes, I agree with Ann. Also, and honestly, because it took me a long time to learn it, I don't think people should stop having sex. I think we should definitely. Sorry, my baby got a little cough. I think we should definitely be more careful or picky about who we choose to have sex with, because of the sacredness. Because of the sacredness of the act. But yeah, sex is very powerful. And I think people waiting to marriage and that's very unrealistic. I honestly don't know anybody who waited to marriage. And I
don't want to marry trash sex. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So you gotta try it before you commit
Absolutely.
To it. So that's, and then having babies to each his own. Like some people have however many babies you want to.
As long as your body can do it, push it out.
Right. Don't listen to all these outside people will put their projections on you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Have how many babies you want to. And men, if you don't want to have babies with a woman,
don't.
Hey, be careful. Be careful. Choose wisely. Snip
it.
Yeah, we're gonna. I see the queen is showing up. She's looking around. Welcome to the show, Trina Marie. Go on and introduce yourself.
I'm Trina Marie.
Really? That's how you gonna see? How she gonna come later and just say I'm Trina Marie? What's your thoughts on premarital sex?
I'm with it. I'm definitely with premarital sex. I was definitely a partaker of casual sex. Yes, I'd do it all over again if I could. I think we definitely need to be more careful with who we procreate with, for sure. I could never imagine waiting until marriage to have sex. That's crazy to me.
And the thing that was so crazy is, I read one of my little things that I was gonna post. And these people are talking about, this lady has a boyfriend. They broke up for a couple of days. She had sex with another guy, and she don't know whose baby it is because even though she loves her boyfriend, they did the pull-out method. And, you know, we sit back and we talk about this and you know, not having sex or this. And really, at what age do women start equating sex with long-termedness? Because when you're in your 20s, I mean, who's really thinking about the long-term picture? You know, because, you know, we talk, you know, as you get older, we talk about soul swapping and all the mixing of the fluids and all this. But who in their 20s is thinking this? How do we get that?
Thinking in my 30s. I mean, what the hell?
Wait, you fast, and you know we talked about how you
I'm
got your
fast.
husband.
I'm just, you know, for one, I don't believe in it. The soul tie thing. That's just some new shit I just recently heard of, like within the last 2 years or so. I don't believe in it. Whatever. You know, your soul is tied to somebody. Last person you had sex with, some bullshit. Whatever. You know, it's probably not bullshit to somebody, but for me, it's bullshit. What, you can't move on or some mess? And so listen, stop thinking about his ass. If he ain't important, just move the hell on. I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is. But anyway. I never
that same reaction from my friends, Trina, because I'm just a no nonsense type of person. You know, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm setting boundaries. You break the boundaries, we're good. You know, and it's just that simple.
I don't see what the difference. What's so hard about soul time? I'm totally tied to your ass. What's your name again?
Hello.
But as far as long-term, think about long-termedness when it comes to sex, I can't say I ever thought about that. I don't know. Maybe I guess I am the fast one on this panel, but I never thought about sex and like, oh, if I have sex with you, then we need to be together long term. At the end of the day, sex is a physical thing. It's a hormonal thing. When I need my scratch it.
And when you get up, you up.
I need you to come scratch it. And I don't need to have no feelings for you in order for that to happen. I know how to compartmentalize and separate love and sex. So I never really intertwined the two, like, oh, I have sex with you and we're gonna be together forever. No, we're gonna be together by the end of this night. And when I wake up in the morning, I kind of want you gone, you know?
Hey, D, I want to jump in real quick because Trina actually just said exactly what I was gonna say. I do believe that there are some soul ties, but that's just individuals. It's how people relate to each other and different things. But the biggest challenge I think that we're running into is that too many people, and I'm saying people because I believe it's both men and women, they equate love and sex because of some failings, and I'm going to use the word failings of in their upbringing to not understand the difference between the two. And so that's a type of trauma that when you tie sex and love, because she's right, at the end of the day, it is just a physical act. So we've tied love to sex. Sex was about procreation. That's what nature is about. So, yeah, I just had to say that. Go ahead, Trina. Look at you.
And I think a lot of times what we're doing is we're comparing what we know at 35 and 40 to what we did at 20. And those are two different mindsets. At 20, nobody is really thinking about this. And I hate when people keep saying, you know, 20-year-olds got to be extra responsible. You didn't know all this stuff at 20. At 20, most of us were having sex because it was just a fun thing to do. It was no different than eating or drinking. We didn't take a lot of precautions. It just was what it was. And I hate when I see people trying to put this pressure on women to be more. You got to be more careful with your body because of this, because of that, because of that. But the guys ain't got to be careful. And it's like, how did we lose that transition? And women, it's crazy because sometimes women will start dogging women. And it's just like, how do you get this across that my 20-year-old daughter ain't going to think the same thing as my 35-year-old wife? Well, she was my wife at 35, but at 35, they just got different processes. Go ahead, Trina.
And I think we all need to be careful with our bodies at the end of the day, because we can end up catching diseases that can kill us all. Women need to be just a touch more careful for the simple fact that men can just deposit babies in us and just dip the hell off. So we do need to be just a touch more careful. As far as like the way I viewed sex from my 20s and 30s, I can't say I really viewed it any differently. I had sex for fun in my 20s. I had sex for fun in my 30s. I'm just 41 now. If I was single, I would probably still have sex for fun. I mean, like, whatever. It's nice. It feels good. I like it. But the major difference between when I was in my 20s and when I was, in my 30s is that I could have sex with somebody I didn't really care about a whole bunch in my 20s. Something happened, I don't know when, but when I got in my 30s, it's like all of a sudden you can't just be anybody anymore. You gotta have some kind of brains about yourself. You can't be like just fine. It gotta be more than just a good look in a sexual chemistry. So that's probably the major difference for me personally between my 20s and my 30s.
I don't think mine is any different, 20s or 30s. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and that's just period. If I'm not in a relationship, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. I'm gonna do me, and as a result of doing me, I'm gonna make certain that there are no ties because I know I'm doing me.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and right quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kristen.
Okay. Now, I was just gonna say, I've had my share of, wild days, very wild, before even like my children saved my life. I'm just gonna be honest, because I was, a person, a hood girl. I was very, very out there at one point in time, and I get it, like, yeah. So just being honest, and so because I was very, and I actually was addicted to sex at one point in my life. That was something I had to actually work through. That was one of the things I had to heal from, because I used to use it as a weapon, like, for real. And so that's like, I know, and that's how I became to know soul ties were real, because I would do things to people that I'm thinking we just talking during sex, but you really, really believe in it. I done have so many crazy experiences, and you got to be careful. Like the main thing I learned, you got to be careful what you say during sex, because while you just thinking it's entertainment, it's really messing with somebody else's head. So yeah, that's just my part, and I'm gonna leave that at that.
I agree with you, Kirsten, but let me say this. That's on him, however he take that, okay? Because I'm liable to tell you absolutely any damn thing. So it's on you how you receive it, because I'm gonna hit you with, hey, ain't it time for you to go? I don't care what you felt, okay? It's time for you to go.
Mm-hmm.
My kids get dropped off in the morning. You gotta go.
Ain't your boys calling you? Don't you gotta go hang out?
I do get that. I do. And I say that because I've had my fair share of crazies. But that just comes from them not being honest. We've both made an understanding that we finna kick it tonight, and then here you come with the crazies in the morning of, I ain't heard from you. What are you doing? What are you doing? We both had an understanding that this is what was going on. I can't help you got caught up in the moment. That's your fault. I made it very clear what we had going on.
And with that being said, because this is, I think, where a lot of people get lost, because men, use the term loosely, don't want to believe that women can have sex for fun. And I'm like, I don't get that, because we had sex for fun, and we had sex for fun with good girls. Everybody we had fun sex with wasn't a hood chick, wasn't a jump off. So, and I think one of the reasons I got you ladies on is because you can articulate that better, that women can have sex for fun. There doesn't have to be an emotional time for them to have sex with you. Very few women need that emotional time.
No, we don't need nothing. Come on with it.
Right? That's the best sex, when ain't no emotion.
Right. And you gonna go home? Yes.
Right.
I think men feel that way because they always think that they're going to be the one to catch us up. You're going to be the one that they're going to blow up. Oh, I'm going to have her sprung or whatever it is. So they just assume that once I get her, I already know what it's going to be. So now you are insulted when I haven't called you in a week and we had sex last week. So now it has to be a problem within me because I haven't called you for a week. Right. Because you thought you were going to be the one that was going to turn me out, so to speak.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It'd be like that, they say we get caught up. Women get caught up. In my experiences, the guys get caught up. Like, I can cut you off with no problem. Like, dude, I don't even know if I really like you. So,
the only reason this is not known is because men don't talk real shit to their friends. You don't tell your friend that I ain't heard from Shawty in 2 weeks. I mean, we got down and I ain't heard from her. So they're not being real with each other, because other than that, they would definitely know we play for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think from my end, and this is why, like I said, I picked you three, that a lot of women lie to keep our fragile male egos in check. You'll tell us what we want to hear and we run with that. Or we fill in the blanks. Oh yeah, she feeling me, so I can do this and this and this. Not realizing that y'all are just being nice to us because you don't want to tell me my sex was trash. So when you don't call me back in a week, I'm just thinking you're playing hard to get. I'm gonna pull the thing. Oh yeah, she just want me to chase her. When really you just want to be left alone.
And it's not just about catering to the fragile male ego. It's also, there's a lot of women that's afraid to be called a hoe or a slut or whatever. But when you get to a point where you're comfortable with yourself and you know who you are, you don't give a damn what nobody call you. You know what you are. So I think it has more to do with not wanting to be called names or oh, she loose, she this, she that, blah blah blah. It has more to do with that, because if the sex is, it doesn't even matter if the sex was trash or if it was good. I still might not. It could have been amazing. I still might not call you for a week because I don't need a tune up yet. So that don't mean it's trash.
All right, so I got the three of y'all here. So one of the biggest things that men complain about is we don't understand women. We think that when we show up and do all these little things that y'all just supposed to fall head over heels for us. And even if we're a shitty person, how do you differentiate between the man that has potential? And the phrase I like to use is, how do you differentiate between Mr. Right versus Mr. Right now? And I know all y'all in relationships, so I know we're gonna talk about the past.
I don't date on potential. I don't date on potential. I don't deal with potential, because that potentially could happen 10 years from now. So I can't potentially do anything on potential. I just want to put that part out there.
I think dating for potential, that was like early 20s, when you was stupid still. You learn better early.
And then the whole Mr. Now or Mr. Later, it's Mr. Who's stepping up. Okay, that's just what it is. If you're stepping up, then you're in the right now. If you fall off, then you in the right later. So it's just whoever doing consistently what they need to do.
We love to say that women will pass up a good man to chase the hood dude. And I was like, let me get this from my ladies, because I've heard when I talk to women when guys say that, and it's like, no, they don't want a hood dude, they just don't want your sorry ass. But we can't accept the fact that you don't want us. We got to put it on something else. And that's why I was saying, what's the difference between Mr. Right and Mr. Right now?
You might not be for me. Just because you're an amazing man, you make great money, you do this, you do that, you still may not be the great man for me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make you any less of an amazing man. You're just not for me.
That's it.
For me, Mr. Right. For me, Mr. Right now is all about a good time. All about just having sex. We have fun when we together. But Mr. Right, he knows how to treat me. Like you are willing to court me. You stop and say, hey, are we gonna ever go on dates? Can I check you out? Can I? He starts to step up, like Ann said, and yeah, he shows you that he knows how to treat a lady. And even if he have children, like how he treat his children, how he treat his mom, like those things are important as well. The relationship with his family, all of that, I take that into consideration, not just one thing. It's multiple layers, a whole bunch of them.
Okay. Roy, you with me? Can you play the video now?
Let me say something. When I was down financially, I never called any man that I was dating. You know who I called? I called Shay. She would give me $5 for gas. Or I called Allison. Allison couldn't give me no money, but Allison at least gave me some of her food so that I could have something to eat for lunch. When I have trouble with stuff around the house or my car or things of that nature, I never called a man that I was dating. Why? Because they wouldn't come through. Or if they did come through, there was some BS that came with it. I called my dad, or I figured it out on my own. When I have my emotional moments, I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm confused, I'm hurt, I need some guidance, I need somebody to help calm me down. You know who I call? My best friend, Ebony, or I call my mom. I don't call the men that I'm dating in my life. Why? Because to them, I'll be too emotional. I'll be too needy. When my homegirls that were single parents, when they needed help with their kids, they never called their child's father because they weren't reliable. Who did they call? They called their sisters. They called their cousins. They called their family members, or they called me. Can you help me pick up my kid real quick? Sure, I got it. I'll sit here with them. So the fact that men aren't needed anymore, it's on you. You created this. When you meet a woman, you want her to need you. You see her car dirty, go wash it. If you're dating her, take her keys. Go put gas in the car. You see something broke around the house, fix it. Call somebody to come fix it if you don't know how to do it. Trash. If you go to her house and you see her trash full, take it out. Those little things will let her know that you're on her team and she can rely on you. Because as single women, we can only call men and ask for so much before we're considered gold diggers, needy, too emotional, or we just looking for somebody to take care of us. No, I need help. We all need help right now. This is tough. If you want me to need you, then you got to show me that I can need you. So until then, guess what? You're just going to be wanted. As soon as that want is no longer there, meaning you don't make me happy, you're not bringing me joy, you're not bringing me peace, you're now making me cry, you're bringing me struggle, you're making my head hurt, you're hurting my feelings, you got to go. I don't need to work this out with you because I don't need you. Make yourself needed. If you can't do it financially, do it emotionally. If you can't do it emotionally, do it financially. If you can't do either one of those, help around the house. Put food in the fridge. Do something. And thing. I can order that like it's pizza now. So, ask yourself why you're not needed. And that will probably be the answer that you need so that she will need you.
All right, so let's have a quick round table. Kirsten, what was your thoughts on that video?
Because I'm ready.
It's very interesting. I see exactly where she's coming from, you know, because I used to be that person that would not ask a man for anything. But I think that was partly due to, you know, me coming up. I didn't have, you know, my fathers didn't show me, you know, this is how a man's supposed to treat you. This is how, like, they were providers and that's it. Like, it wasn't like, this is what the man is supposed to do. Like, I wasn't never taught that, like the things that was supposed to be, how it's supposed to go, or the man's role. So I just went based off what I thought. Like, I felt like I was a very independent woman. I think that's a very independent mindset or whatever, us feeling like we don't want to ask a man for nothing. And now I learned that you gotta ask, because sometimes they just slow. Y'all just slow, really. Sometimes. Not you, DP, but
it's too late. I heard you call me y'all. That's twice. That's twice. One show, that's twice.
You know, sometimes y'all don't know either because y'all weren't taught. So, you know, do you, sir, do you know that the man, do you think you're supposed to take the trash out? You see the trash full, like, do you think you should be taking it out? But now I know, and I, you know, I don't have that problem in my household now, but before, like, I have been with someone who was like that. So I get it. Like, I agree. And I know that we have to voice our needs as well.
All right. Go ahead, Ann. I know you was waiting on this one.
Yeah. Well, I am going to respectfully agree to disagree. I fought the woman in the video. The men only provided or lacked there or provided for what you didn't ask or what you didn't do. It sounds like you are consistently dating the same type of men, so you're getting the exact same type of results. I've always asked for what I want, trying to ask. Now, as an adult, I don't ask my man absolutely nothing. He knows what the drill is. Like, I don't say a word. I don't say, baby, I need, and you think you can. It's just a given. It's just what is done. It's a part of our every single day. And I feel like men, whether you're dating them, whatever it is, they're treating you based on how you treat you, based on how they see you. I take great care of myself. So in order for you to come in, you got to understand that you got to take great care of me. But if I come in and if a man comes in and you're barely making it, he's going to give you that barely as well. So no, I'm never requiring the bare minimum. If I ask you and your answer is no, I am on to the next, because there are minimum requirements that you will pass, period, in order to deal with me. And I would expect him to have those same exact things. I'm not calling my homegirl if you're laying in the bed with me. I'm not doing that. I'm not asking my sister to pick up my kids and you're laying in the bed with me. I'm not doing that. It's not happening. I'm not calling nobody for no dollar if you land in the bed with me. It's not happening.
Go ahead, Trina.
I'm with Ann on this one all damn day. I mean, the chick in the video, like I hear what she's saying as far as, you know, some men are unreliable, but why you fucking with them then? Why is you sleeping with this dude? Why is you letting him enter your body if he's so unreliable? What is wrong with you? You know, I can't really relate to dating a man that I can't call you for a ride. I can't call, like, what? No. Mm-mm. But other than everything Ann said, I ain't with it.
And this is one of the few videos where I will blame the woman, because if you have no standards, then he doesn't have anything to meet. Because I often tell guys, I tell women, guys will do what you let them get away with. But if you don't require me to do anything, guess what? I ain't gonna do nothing. And I'm still getting the goods. And as I'm watching this video, you sleeping with this guy, but you won't ask him for nothing. Because she specifically used the word dating. And that's the context I want to keep it in. We ain't talking about cut buddies or friends with benefits. You're dating somebody and you can't ask them for help. That to me has got to be one of the most insane things I've ever heard. But you dating and you need a ride, but you ain't gonna ask me, as Ann said, I'm gonna sleep in the bed or I'm gonna eat your food, but you ain't gonna ask me to go pick up the kids, to go grab something. And you wonder why you're getting this type of dude, or even this man.
Guess what? He gonna go over to the next female house and do all of that without being asked. And he knows what she requires.
And that's where a lot of women get confused. Oh, he got with her and he started doing all this stuff. He didn't start doing it, she required it. If you don't require me to do anything, I ain't gonna do nothing. And it's like I'm trying to figure out, because I've heard other women say this. I can't ask my boyfriend for this. So why is he your boyfriend?
Right.
I can't.
Absolutely. Or he gonna worry about me being a gold digger. I don't give a shit. What you think I am? Bring me the money. What you think I am?
Yeah. Also, on the woman's behalf, like that's a lack of like self-love and self-confidence. You're definitely lacking the love for yourself and the confidence if you feel like you can't ask the man who you with and stuff like. And I've personally been there, so. I get, like I said, I get what she's saying, because I know I was there at one point, in my younger days, actually, one of my children's father, and I just knew it wasn't working out or whatever.
So with that,
a lot of women don't ask because they know the answer is no, which goes back to why you even dealing with him if you know the answer is no.
But with that being said, Kirsten, you said you were one of those people. So is it really that the men weren't reliable, or is it that there was something with you? There was an issue with you that required your standards. So it's like, can we even really blame the men? That the men weren't reliable when it was an internal issue all along.
Yeah, it was definitely an internal issue in me, like accepting, like I was so in love that I would accept lie after lie after lie. Then I realized, it took me a couple months. It didn't take a year. It took months, for me to figure it out. I was young, and I'm like, okay. And then, after going to therapy and stuff, I realized, oh, okay, it was because this and this and this what you went through, and like this what happened, and your father, like the stuff that I went through with my dad, like, so it was very healing for me to go through that process. But yeah, some women just don't know, and with her, she seems like she's a mature age, but that just goes to what I was saying last night. I just learned that with age does not come maturity. Like, you gotta really just learn and want to know and want to open your eyes and see what's really happening. And
you have to have standards. You have to have your own personal standards.
And I think sometimes some people have to firsthand see love, not love on the TV, not love on the reality shows, but literally a couple that and you see them, you see how they love on each other. Just a real life experience. I have a very good friend of mine that has had terrible relationships. Each relationship, one after the other, all of them are worse than the next. However, she sat and talked with me a few months ago and said, you know what, just watching you and your boyfriend has made me understand I deserve way more than what I've been getting. She needed to actually see it in real life, somebody that she knew, something that was tangible, to see this real thing, like real love really does exist. men really do take care of women and love on them and love them in their own self. It's not a gimmick. This is real life. These things happen. You are lovable. You just have to find somebody that is willing to love you in its entirety, love the whole you.
And I think that's one of them things that for me personally, I would love to see more women talk about, because I think a lot of women get caught up in the mix of listening to foolish guys tell them stuff, or women who are depressed and needy telling them stuff, as opposed to women who have been through things and share them, which is why I get you guys here, because you can say where you were and how you grew. We can stop some of the growing pains for some of these girls who are being used and abused because they think it's normal, and they gotta go through 6, 10, 15 years of hard relationships before they find something that's good, because they didn't know it truly existed. I know one of the things Trina used to say when we first started dating is I'll tell you, I like women with kids. I'm into the whole family thing. And she had said one time she didn't know that's what she wanted, so she dated somebody who actually exhibited it. And that was one of the things that just kind of caught my attention, because I was like, don't most guys, if they know you got kids, don't they want the kids and they do this? And the
thing is, it's not that I didn't know I wanted a guy who liked kids. It wasn't about liking kids. It was about wanting a man that was family oriented. That there's a difference between somebody who just likes kids and somebody who's family oriented. Because anybody that I dated, especially that I brought around my kid, you have to like my kids. You have to like my kids. But just because they like my kid does not mean that they're family oriented. The difference with you is that when you made plans for everybody. It wasn't just me and you. Oh, let's just do it. You like, okay, well, Janai could do this or Zuri could do that. You thought about the entire family. That's something I haven't experienced before you. But other than liking my kids, you had to like my kids. Or kid anyway. That one.
And right. And remember, we saw a post where men love to say, "Oh, if you got kids, ain't no man gonna want you. Ain't this." And I know lots of bonus dads. I know tons of bonus dads. And it's like, why do y'all keep trying to perpetuate that myth just to hold a woman down and think she's got to settle for it? When there are men who like this, because the kids play a role, but it's how you deal with the kids and how you present yourself as to whether or not we'll deal with you. Because yes, I've dated women who had kids that I would never take serious, but it was more because of how I saw them with their kids. And it's like, don't tell women that because they got kids that they fall to the bottom of the barrel. That's just not true.
But they know it's not true. It's a way. It's a form of manipulation. I mean, and it's all over social media. It's ridiculous coming from a lot of different guys. They really trying to beat us down. They're trying to get us to a point where we have this low self-esteem, so that way we're willing to accept any kind of trashy treatment. It's all over social media. And like I'm noticing, like I told you one other time, that women are really starting to pay attention. They starting to take notice that there's a lot of guys out here that just hate women. And those are usually, that's the type of stuff that's coming from men who hate women. They hate us. They don't like a confident woman. They don't like a strong woman. I do the air quotes because people tend to think that strong means like aggressive and blah blah blah, and it don't, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they don't like those kind of women, so they gotta try to beat us down. They got mentally. And then
you've been rejected because you listened to what I said in the middle of sex, and now you believing it. So now I'm wrong because I'm not obliging. What in the world you think I should be obliging to? Right. No.
All right, so here's my big one. So what's more important? Because I hate the term gold digger. Men say, these women only want me because of my money.
But I got money. I got a bag. So I don't need to want you about your money because I got a bag.
But who doesn't want stability? Who doesn't want?
But I'm saying I don't want you for your money. Your money is just a bonus to come along with you. But if you decide to pack up today, everything's still gonna get paid. Them trips me and my kids take all year long, we're still taking them.
Trina, Kirsten.
I mean, I think it's stupid for the simple fact that, I mean, if you got your own money, that's great and all. But thinking that there's something wrong with a woman that wants stability, like something is wrong with you. To think that most people, not just women, but most people, period, want stability. And stability usually comes in the form of finances. Men, these guys out here all the time, FBs, get money. I'm trying to get my money right, blah, blah, blah. You want your money because you want stability. Everybody wants stability. So
and you don't want me broke. You don't want me coming in with $0.
Right. So I don't see anything wrong with a woman wanting a man that has stability, that can provide stability. And then they continue on to talk about, oh, that's why we're leaving for white girls. You think them damn white women ain't training their daughters to look for a man that can provide stability?
Hello. It's in the book.
We ain't supposed to want it. Black women ain't supposed to want it. We're supposed to be okay with being down in the dumps, because it's like that's how they have become so accustomed to seeing us at the bottom with them. And then when we start rising, they don't like that shit. They got.
And it must be something wrong. There's something wrong as to why we're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the issue is too, the main all of the men who usually say that are the ones who are broke, who don't have
as hell.
Mm-hmm. So I get it. Like, it's because
you're supposed to be okay with making promises.
Right. You're not that man, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. Get your money up and do what you need to do, and then or keep living off a woman. Lots of those men like to live off of the woman. Mm-hmm. We going half and half on everything, or she got my woman a boss or whatever. And that's hey.
and I believe it's something to support your man who's down, who has supported you for all this time, versus trying to support a man who's sitting around still trying to find his way.
Right.
Opposed to paying for his potential.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think whenever he goes to school, girl, he's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. At 51, he's gonna turn out to be. He's gonna be the next Tupac at 51.
Like, so no, sweetheart. If anybody going in the rap booth, it's me. Okay. If anybody finna freestyle today, it's gonna be me.
Oh, and can you drop a couple of bars right quick?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I was just checking that. I want to see if you got skills.
And if I'm going to work, dude, you think I'm gonna pay for you studio time? I'm going in the booth. I'm gonna be the one that's on the mixtape. No.
All right, so now here's a question. Now I want all y'all to go back. Trina, you got to go back at least 5-6 years. And how long you been dating? How long you been in this
3 years now?
Okay, so you got to go back 3.5, 4 years. Kirsten, you got to go back 7-8 years. Do you need a man?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I agree. I do too. I used to think I didn't, but with growth, evolution, and maturity, I know that I need a man. I don't want to, die lonely or alone. I mean, I don't want no moment. So, yes, I need a man. We all need that. I feel like we all need that companionship. Your life is so much more better when you have someone to share with, and someone who genuinely loves you, and your family. Like, it's so much more better with a loving, healthy family. It is. It's kind of hard doing it on your own, but everybody wants somebody to love. And yes, I need my man.
And I have to concur with the ladies. I need him for I don't want to say happiness, because I'm happy within myself, but for fulfillment, for like that
full circle.
Yeah, that full circle. Like, I need him for that. Do I need him to breathe? No, I can breathe on my own.
Exactly.
I can pay my own bills. I can do all those things. But yes, I need him to complete that circle. Yes.
And I just appreciate the security. My man gives that blanket for me that, if you're standing beside me, I fear nothing. Like, I'm in my most carefree mode because I know you're right there. That protection is so high and I'm so comfortable. I need that feeling. Like, I need that feeling because now I'm comfortable. I can tend to my kids because you're watching our surroundings. When I decide that I'm dropping the ball today, you're picking the ball right back up. Yes, I need that. And I didn't know that I needed that until I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I know one of the best things that I've ever heard coming from a man is like don't worry about it. I got you. I got us. It's like when you
be like, what? You got what, man? Okay.
Right. It's like when you go from being that single woman, especially if you happen to be a single parent like I was, and everything is on your shoulders. You have to worry about everything. You have to worry about these bills getting paid, the money getting made. You got to worry about everything. And then for somebody to come along and take so much of that burden off your shoulders, it's like, oh my gosh, where have you been? I don't ever want to be without you.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing.
And you know, I love that because, and I tell guys, if you're dating a woman who says she don't need a man, then you got a decision to make. Let her go. Let her go. Cause I'm a man. I need a good woman. I want sex from time to time, but I need a good woman. Just to take care of the little things to make my life, not my date, my life a little bit better. But you know, when I meet women, when I was dating, I would meet women. I don't need a man. Okay, let me just go on over him, cause I ain't got time for this. Well, what you not? No, you don't need it. So yeah, I want somebody who eventually that we want to need each other. Because as Trina said, I can breathe on my own. I can make money on my own. But for the little things, I don't want to have to keep having a rotational thing going through. But I'm needing that special woman. Right. And you know, I thought I was gonna meet her, but then Trina hoodwinked me with some hoodoo, and she put some in my pizza, and like this is where I ended up.
You'll wake up one day.
Mm-hmm. And just be told, you know you're my boyfriend. I'll be like, what? I got keys in the garage, everything. I'm like,
now go take the trash out.
Wow. You see how he just lie about me right to my face? Right in my face.
Hold on, and face on us, so it went to your face. Stop the man. So we talked about the security. So how important is your man having emotional stability to the relationship?
Very.
Ooh. That is very, very.
What do you mean? What do you mean by emotional stability?
Providing you with emotional stability.
Oh, providing me with emotional stability.
Or even his own. However you take it.
It's extremely important. It's extremely important for sure. And one of the reasons that because we lean on each other. You know, you're my partner, I'm your partner, so on and so forth. You know, when you down, I'm supposed to be there to lift you up, or at least support you. If I can't lift you up, at least be there. I need you to know that I'm there, and vice versa. So if something is going on with me and I can't come to you, then that means I have to take care of myself. I have to nurture myself. And if I have to nurture myself emotionally, then guess who's going to get neglected? You, because I'm not going to be taking care of you emotionally because I'm not concerned about you. I'm just worried about myself because you're lacking in that. And of course, we all have to still take care of ourselves emotionally, you know, to a certain degree, but there's still, you know, a piece of that where you just want to be able to breathe. This is really no different from that man coming along and taking all the weight of the world off your shoulders. It's kind of the same thing. I need to know that I'm not in this by myself.
Yes. That's very, very, very important for me. And I've learned that sometimes you have to teach your man how to be there for you emotionally, because what he's used to doing emotionally doesn't work for you. So you gotta tell him, baby, I need this. I need you to come. If you see me down, I need you to come talk to me. I need you to come rub on me, do whatever, you know. Make it very specific. That was something I definitely had to do. I do know that some men struggle a whole lot with being emotionally stable or whatever. But once you talk about it and express it and communicate it, and he love you enough, he'll get it right. He'll figure it out. He gonna get it right. Yeah. So
for me, it's extremely important. And this relationship that I'm in now is just really teaching me a lot of things about life and relationships and people. And just specifically, maybe about a year ago, I was having some strifes with my dad. We have a very strained relationship. It just is what it is. However, I was just venting to my boyfriend, explaining to him, like, baby, this is ridiculous. I got to help me. I got to do something for me in order to get myself out of this. My dad is going to be whoever he is, but I'm responsible for getting myself back healthy as far as this relationship. When I knew that he was going to be the one, he just abruptly cut me off and was like, okay, baby, I'm going to call you back. And I'm like, I'm sitting here almost in tears telling you what's going on in my world, and you just going to tell me you're going to call me back? However, when he called me back, he was on three-way with a therapist. And he's like, baby, I've already paid for it, but you need to give her the information and let her know when you want to start. When I say in that moment, I knew for a fact that he cared about my whole self, my emotions, my absolute everything. I knew that that's so important to me because you care about literally every single thing that goes on with me. You made it a priority to make certain that I'm healthy. That's everything for me.
And one of the things that I had to learn with Trina, and I had read about it, but I was never really doing it, is that at some point, ladies, men, we got to have a conversation, because most men by nature are fixers. When you telling us a problem, we want to fix it. But there are times when you ladies don't want your problem fixed. You just want to be heard. Most men aren't truly good listeners. We can sit there and let you talk, but we're not really listening. And you just want to talk to us. And you don't want us to do nothing other than listen. And, it's like, okay, babe, tell me when you want me to be your friend and not your husband. Because as your husband, I'm trying to fix this problem. I don't know how to sit back and listen, because that's something I never learned. And now you ask me to learn a whole new skill at this age. Work with me. But, give me the code word. Say, baby, just listen. And teach me how to just do that, as opposed to hearing you and constantly trying to fix a problem. So that's something that, I try to get people to understand. It's important, because as Ann said, we want to be there for you, but sometimes we just don't know how, because we've never loved you like we loved the other girls in the past, and we didn't want to be a better person because we didn't know what it took. So I appreciate y'all for that one. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. I know this one Trina read it for here. We talk about all the time that I think a lot of men are jealous of women. Trina said, she think they hate them. I tend to think that some of them are jealous that y'all are the fairer sex, that y'all can get free this, free that, y'all can get away with getting stuff. And men are now a lot of men, it appears, want to be y'all. They want somebody to do something for them. They want to be taken out.
They want to be kept.
I'm all for being taken out, but I have a standing rule. I will never let a woman pay for my first date. Never, ever. You can pay for dates after that, but the first date is mine to pay for. Once we're in a relationship, yeah, I do expect you to take care of some things sometime. But it's like these dudes are crazy. Why she can't take me out? Why she can't do this? And it's like, so you want her to be the man?
I had a conversation with a guy about last week, via Facebook, and he was sitting there talking about what he won't do for a woman, blah blah blah. He said, she got to do that for me. And I'm like, I thought it was kind of strange. I'm like, so you want to be like a woman, you want to be treated like a woman. He's like, I'm not saying that I want to be treated like a woman, but y'all get to have this, y'all get to have that, so I want that too. If it worked for y'all, I'm like, so you're trying to be like them. He's like, no, I'm just learning from y'all. I want to be taken out on dates, and I want to, I want a woman to do this, that, and stuff. I was like, he was like, I got women after me, blah blah blah, and me, I went and looked at his page and right there, I was like, get right, anybody want you, but anyway, that's beside the play. But yeah, he was really looking like some lowly trash, though. I'm sorry, the girl, Dusty. Okay, so I was like, so what's the caliber? But what's the caliber of women that you dealing with, though? And he's like, well, you can't tell much by a picture, and you can tell quite a bit from a picture. If I see she dirty, her wig all trashy, she look ran through, and you can tell quite a bit about people, from the picture. But anyway, he's like, it don't matter to me. I don't care what she looks like. I don't care if she is Queen Sheba, or if she from the gutter. As long as she do the things, as long as she cater to me the way that I want her to cater to me, the way that men cater to y'all, that's all that matters. And I'm like, wow, like this, did he really want to be?
But that's insanity. If she's a gutter rat, she's incapable of doing the things that you've asked about.
And I think it's like when we actually kind of got into a conversation, like I was getting a little bit deeper into his thought process, and at the end of it, come to find out he was hurt. He wanted to be appreciated. He wanted to feel like he was appreciated, because evidently in his current wife that he was going through a divorce with, he never felt appreciated. So whatever little gesture a woman can do, or any little thing to make him feel good, he was okay with it, regardless of who it came from. And it's like, he's probably a bad excuse, but then again, not so much, because I think that a lot of these guys that want to be treated like women, they're coming from a place of hurt as well. Like they want to feel appreciated, at least, even if it's not from a place of hurt, they just want to feel appreciated. And it's,
but you know what, Trina, I think a lot of that comes from, let me bring my camera back.
Yeah, bring your camera back.
Comes from people, be it women or men or women, love bombing people. You shower them with all of this stuff, give them all of this, and now you're looking for it to be reciprocated. But that may be your love language, to shower them with things. Their love language may be to cook all the time. But now you're looking for that thing that you feel like you have put out when you shouldn't have done that, because now you've set a precedent for what you guys have going on, instead of just entertaining this young lady, doing little things here and there until she has became your lady, and she's showing you the same things that you're showing her. Don't love bomb me and I don't ever do anything back, but you continue to love bomb me, and then you bash me because I'm not doing those things that you want me to do.
And then you mad at all the women, like, hey, I didn't do it to you, okay? She did that. I didn't do nothing. Right. And I remember speaking to another guy who, you know, he's talking about how he did this and that and the third for the woman. He paid for this and he paid for that and he took care of her, blah, blah, blah. And then she turned around and she shitted on him. She didn't do nothing back. And it's like, and I asked him, I was like, so, you know, you have to take part of the blame for that, because you didn't make sure that you were getting what you needed out of a relationship while you were doing all these things. So it's my fault because I treated her right? Yeah.
It's your fault that you showered her based on her potential.
Right.
Yeah, it's your fault that you didn't make sure that you got what you needed out of that relationship while you were trying to give her everything. You gave her the world and didn't make sure that she gave you anything. And I think a lot of guys have issues with doing that. They want to keep her. So, you know, they doing all the great good guy stuff, but they're not making sure that they get taken care of. There's nothing wrong with making sure you get what you need out of a relationship.
And also, I want to add to that, this is why I said mental health is so important, because a lot of times too, men who do stuff like that, they haven't received the love that they need from their mom when they were younger. They looking for a certain love in women that, you know, they didn't get enough hugs from their mom, or their mom never kissed them and told them they love them. You know, she raised him to be very tough, and you know that you don't require this or you don't require that because you're a boy. You're supposed to be tough and do all this. And in all actuality, like us as mothers, we gotta, parents, period, but definitely mothers, because we can be our daughter's worst enemy and we can be our son's worst love or whatever. And so that's a very difficult thing. And even then, because a lot of things that we do during adulthood goes back into like our teenage years, how we reacted to before a lot of things. Before that, but we formed this, our thoughts in our brain. Well, I forgot what she called it. I'm in psychology and it's taking a lot of things. I study a lot of things, but it's something your brain does, and it cuts off at the age of 14 that form the way that you think about certain things. And that a lot of us carry that into our adulthood and our relationships, and we never work through healing those traumatic things, like things we don't even think were trauma for us. We just go through life dealing with it, just like, okay, this is how my mama did me, and this is just what it is. That's how I am. So that's all of that can definitely play a part in it too.
We're gonna go to that in just a second. I got one last question, because I see this one all the time. So again, ladies, we're gonna go back before y'all was all in involved relationships and in love and all that other stuff, making Google eyes. Did any of y'all ever go to dinner with a guy and not have sex?
Yeah.
What?
You know,
dinner trip, you name it.
I know, right? That's like all the time.
What?
You know, well, I'm so tired of these guys complaining about, I took her to dinner, she didn't want to have sex. So I'm trying to figure out how the two equate each other. And when you go to dinner, when you know, I'm married now. Just because I take my wife to dinner don't mean she don't give me none. And ain't nothing I can do.
I'm sleeping in the car. I'm sleeping in the car, baby.
When did dinner equate to sex? Because
I don't know. That happened after I wasn't on the dating scene no more, because it never in my life has dinner ever equated to no damn sex. Ever.
So that's some new stuff.
Unless that's what I wanted to do. And the biggest thing I need men to understand is if I did it, it's because I wanted to. It had nothing to do with this dinner. It had nothing to do with what you said, how you talked, none of that. I knew when you picked me up whether I was or I wasn't. So it doesn't matter. Whether we went to Captain D's or we went to Roof Chris, I already know what I'm getting ready to do.
Okay.
That's
right. And like Darren said, when he asked some women, whatever, when you have sex with a guy, do they have to spend some money first? Hell no. Listen, if this what I want to do, this what we about to do. It don't matter if I just met you, it don't matter if you spent a dime, $10, no money. I done had sex with dudes for free before, so
this is what I wanted to do. It was for me. It had nothing. If you got something out of it, great, but it was for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so before y'all get me in trouble, I can get all y'all signature, because I keep telling guys, when a woman likes you, you ain't got to spend the money. When she likes you, she will have sex for free. So stop thinking money's gonna get you somewhere.
Right.
And it's like they ain't gotta do once they like you.
And DVP all the time, I gotta like you that much. I might just want to today. I might just want to. You may have been chasing me for a year, messaging me for a year, and today I responded.
Something about today, yeah.
Right.
Today was your lucky day.
Yeah.
Right, but it don't require nothing. I'll be like, guys, when y'all if I tell you I'm gonna take you to dinner, guess what? If she wants to eat, she gonna say yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with sex. I said, so y'all gotta quit taking the women to dinner. If you take the time to get to know them, have some phone conversation, not text, see where her head is, because that's on you. Well, I took her to this expensive place. Whose idea was the expensive place? Oh, well, I said, so if you said it, all she did was say yeah.
And to me, that's more insulting to me to think that you get to get a piece of my body for a damn meal. So what you're saying is all I'm worth is a meal. Hey, if we're gonna make it to you spent money and then you get some cookie, give me the damn money. And I'm gonna add tax, but don't think that this damn fish sandwich or whatever the hell I done ate that day equates to you getting a piece of my body. Now I'm pissed.
Did you say you add tax?
Period.
Yeah, I'm gonna add tape. Listen, if I'm gonna sell it, it's gonna be more than that damn dinner, okay?
And what they fail to realize, yes, I sat with dinner with you, but I text oh boy on my way to the house, let him know you can start leaving your house. You're not getting anything, sir. We were just dinnering today. That's all.
Right.
And I got something else for you. Bobby said that's an interesting statement. Can you explain our son's worst love? Or was that Kirsten who said that? One of y'all said we can be the mothers could be their son's worst love. Can you expound on that just a little bit?
Okay, what I mean by that is if your mom, our parents teach us how to deal in relationships, what we expect for relationships, how a man or a woman is supposed to treat us. If your mom, if you don't ever remember your mom telling you that she loves you, or even giving you a hug or a kiss or showing you any kind of affection, and talking back, like, even the words that she say to you, like, you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna never be nothing, and all this, or talking down about to you, that's your worst. That's you take that into your brain. That gets stored in your brain, and depending on what you tell yourself, because some people come out of it or learn how to deal with it when they get older, and some people don't. They choose to be victim to that situation. And then you grow up and you deal with women based on that standard that your mom set. So you choose women or attract women, shall I say, that will treat you those type of ways, or you will treat her that type of way. So it depends. It all depends on the narrative and how you process it, that experience in your brain, and what you choose when you get older. It's different for everybody, but for most people, especially in our community, men, y'all was taught to be tough and all this. But some of y'all moms, a lot of moms did tell you love you, but now, like, it's very complex.
What I've experienced from guys who didn't have good relationships with their mothers, they didn't treat the women like crap. If anything, they were looking for a mother figure. They were looking for you to give them that love that they did not receive from their mother. But they don't treat you like crap deliberately. It's kind of like a by default thing, because they just don't know what to do. But usually they're looking for that mother figure.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's true too.
And one of you guys brought up love languages earlier, and I'm gonna just say this: everybody should read that book and know their own love language. One of the things I learned about that book is it says we normally love people the way we want to be loved. We don't love them like they want to be loved because we think our love is the right one. When you get involved in a relationship, that's a book y'all probably need to read together so that y'all will understand each other's love language, so you don't keep thinking, you know, as Ann, I think Ann said it, you know, I like this, Ann like words of affirmation, but I want to keep giving her gifts. She likes the gifts, but they're not promoting love to her. And that's one of the things I think a lot of people misunderstand in relationship. Women, and I do put this blame on women, because we need y'all to explain stuff more to us. Because once we're into you, we'll change for the woman that we're into. We won't change for a basic chicken head, but the woman we're into, we'll let her teach us things because we want to be better for her. And once we cross that line, I think that's something that women could probably do a little bit better job of, is getting guys to understand love languages, how to love you like you want to be loved, knowing how we want to be loved so you can love us the way that we want to be loved as well. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, they don't even need to read the book. Just take the test. That book is boring as hell. I tried. I can't do it. I can't get through it.
Well, take the test and then understand it.
I think also it has to do with communication. When me and my guy first got together, this fool would send me flowers every week. I don't know how to keep these shits alive. These damn flowers. Send me food, babe. Like, send me food. DoorDash me shit. Don't send me no flowers. Like, I don't want to get to the door. I'm not excited because the flowers guy is here with a bouquet of flowers. And it would be ridiculous, okay? I would get flowers at home. I would get flowers at work. Baby, why you didn't send me lunch? Why didn't you send me food? Why didn't you send me some groceries? I don't want them damn flowers. But I had to vocalize that. Like, after maybe the third week, I had to let him know, baby, I don't want them flowers.
And
I'm
you and Trent,
to keep them alive. I don't want them.
I will never let you and Trent Marie hang out, ever, not even with a chaperone. I'm keeping, as a matter of fact, y'all won't even be on the same show again, ever, never.
And it's because it's so sweet. Like, he's expressing his love to you. It's so sweet, but it's like you're just sending the wrong damn thing.
Yeah,
I love it.
I can't eat them damn flowers. Like, no. Nope. He didn't know that. He did what he thought he was supposed to do. He did what he thought was a beautiful love language, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly. But baby, you're wasting your money.
Right.
I don't like them damn flowers. They cute for that day, and I'm, oh, this is cute. But I forget about it, and in 3 days they dead because I ain't put no water in them.
They're gonna die anyway. They cut flowers. They gonna die.
But had you got me some food and it was leftovers, I would remember that the next day. I would remember that. Them flowers I forgot about.
She would have said thank you in her own special language.
That is the way to my soul. Feed me.
I'm not. You know what? I'm finna just cut all y'all off.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Taurus. Yeah, Taurus Nation. We love food.
All right. So Ann said something on yesterday's show. We was on Overflow, and that's where we started over this. Ann said something about parenting lessons, about things she learned from being a child and taking it into parenting, and things she had to learn how to change. And I think this is something women have to talk more about. I've done a couple of shows, and Trina's been on, where we even talked about women teaching their daughters about sex early. How does that transition go? So ladies, tell me some of the things that you are doing different as a parent than what you learned as a child to make sure that you are promoting healthy relationships and mental stability.
Oh man, everything. As far as like
not everything.
I mean, a lot of things though. I love my mom. I love her dearly, but there's a lot of things that she really dropped the ball on, especially when it comes to communicating, as much as I hate to say, like, she really didn't teach me much about becoming a woman. I didn't even learn about my periods from her. I didn't learn anything from her. Everything I learned it on the street, or like a little cousin taught me, or somebody else taught me. So all of those things that I wish I had been told by my mother, I tell my daughters.
Absolutely. I'm just making sure it's not a taboo statement inside my house. Like, we're going to actively talk about these things. When I was growing up, it was just something you didn't really speak about. Nobody wanted to tell you about sex. All they want to say is don't do it.
Right.
But why? Now I want to do it because you said don't do it. So I'm just making certain that I'm vocal with my daughter, because here's the thing. She's 14 years old. If I ain't gonna tell you, the streets gonna tell you, and they're gonna tell you the way they want you to know it. I would rather just go ahead and be blunt with you and let you know what the real is. You know what I mean? Because I didn't get that, and I had, like Trina said, I had to find it out in the streets, but it wasn't the way the knowledge needed to be presented to me. And pretty much it was too late by the time they wanted to teach me.
Yeah, and that's another thing with the timing. Timing is so important because like we can't wait till they 15 to start talking about it. Somebody done already told them. Hell, if they ain't already doing it, you know, we got to start early. And I'm talking 7, 8.
Absolutely,
we got to start early. So
yes, I agree with both of the ladies. My upbringing was, you know, our parents, I guess, they didn't really tell the truth about most things. And what I decided was I would never lie to my children. Like I've never told them about Santa Claus and all kinds of stuff. Like I am hard truth. If I learn something, I teach it to you, and I know it's the truth. I teach it to you. Like I've already started talking to my daughter about period. She's 9 years old, and then sex and babies, because she asked. Like, and I'm like, you know, and I had to talk to my son too about girls, because he talking about he want a girlfriend and spending his money on girls, and because he see like my husband do me, and I'm like, hold on, you gotta
that's cute.
Make sure you know how to take care of yourself first before you try to take care of another woman. So like I am very open with my children, and my family they hate that. Like they can't. They are not,
because we were raised to stay in a child's place. But there are certain places that they say children don't need to be in that they most definitely do.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful
and
thing.
I always allow my children to ask me questions, like ask me why. And in most cases, you have to say, Mom, is it okay if I ask you why such and such and such? And if it's something we openly talk about at that moment, I do. Like my son, we was at the courthouse. He looked at me and said, Mom, I thought you said 2 men couldn't get married, like real loud. And I was like, we're going to talk about that when we leave. My sister-in-law was getting married. It was so embarrassing. I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, we're going to talk about that when we leave. I was wrong, baby. It's legal now. Like, you know.
Right, right.
I'm like,
and the beautiful thing about, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying 2 men can't procreate. You know, they cannot create a baby. But now it's legal. They can get married.
Right.
So. Or
the beautiful thing about talking to them so early, like when they are 7, 8, it's they are still at an age where their curiosity is high, but they don't know better to be embarrassed by, you know, they don't know that this is oh my gosh, I don't want to, they're not to that. I didn't want to talk to Mom about this. They're not at that stage yet. So if they ask you those questions and you start answering it, by the time they teenagers, they are so comfortable with talking to you that it's like talking about changing their socks or, you know, cleaning up their room. It becomes that easy when you start really young. And yes, I've taught my daughter know about puberty. She is 8. all of that. So you gotta tell them. I homeschool, so we're gonna be talking about the whole reproductive system now, not in a couple of years. Now at 8, we're gonna talk about all of that.
And even with us, with the older daughter, Trina took the daughter. They had a class on sex trafficking or child trafficking, and it's a subject that most parents don't want to talk about, or they want their kids to know about it, but they don't want to have anything to do with it. And those little things are so important, because you can't keep acting like ain't nothing bad gonna happen, or there's nothing bad that's out there. And I
took her to that seminar when she was, I want to say either 15, I think she was 15, but I had taught Janai about sex trafficking when she was 10. I taught her, we was watching YouTube videos about sex trafficking and everything, because it's a very real thing. Like you have to, it sucks to have to burst the innocent bubble, but you got to let these kids know, because they taking these babies at 8, 9, 10 years old, throwing them in sex slavery. So you gotta expose them you have to expose them. Yeah, you just have to.
And one of the things I had learned from my investigations is that some of these parents were doing it, and they were getting their kids to recruit other kids at school by having overnight parties. So yeah, you got to be a little bit careful about who you let your kids spend the night with, because you know they'll say the kid never got there, but they don't took your daughter and shipped off to Missouri or New York or somewhere. And these are little things you gotta, you know, it's like, Mom, why you gotta go meet everybody? Oh, because we need to know where you going. We need to know who's there. So in case I got to come back, you know, suited and booted up with my guns and shit, who to blame? But
my daughter was always, people like, oh, Janai, can you spend that? My mom gonna say no. She don't even ask. She never even asked.
You already know the answer is no.
Right. I don't know. Right.
But the first thing I'll tell you is, you know, they can come over here.
That's right. They can come over here. You can go to grandma's house and you can come home. That's where you can sleep. But other than that, she let me ask, and them kids, them friends swear they gonna get you to shoot. My mom gonna say no. I don't give a damn who you is. No, the answer is no. You cannot.
I have a question too for you, Trina. Being a bonus mom, have you ever been in a situation where, and you too, and if you have, bonus children as well, in a situation where, we're very open and honest with our children, but maybe the other parent is not, how have you, at what point do you, like, what boundaries, how do you make sure not to cross those boundaries?
So,
that,
I'm not really I'm a bonus mom, but they all grown. By the time I came into Darren's life, they all grown. The kids that we talk about, these are my kids that I gave birth to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as far as me, Kirsten, my bonus baby's mom are very particular. I'm ratchet in my real life. Okay, that's just that on
what?
That.
Not you.
I'm ratchet in my real life. I'm me in my real life. Like, I'm only working at work, but the minute I leave work, I'm regular me. Okay, and I like you said, I don't sugarcoat anything for my kids. I fuss at them, I holler at them, I send them to their room. I just need a parent. All I can tell you is I'm going to take great care of them. Okay, I'm probably going to say something that's unorthodox, and you can clean that up when you get back home. But you can only parent at your home, and I can only parent at my home. So as long as I'm staying respectful, and I'm not going out the way telling your child God is not real or whatever your religion is, the basis of you guys' soul, everything else should be okay. I'm not going to tell them anything that's going to hurt them. But like if you're telling them, oh, Santa Claus is not real, mom got to clean that up when she get home.
Yeah, okay. It's okay. I actually had that scenario.
Because here's the thing, I respect people who are in that I don't tell my kids about the Tooth Fairy. I don't tell my kids about Santa Claus. I respect that wholeheartedly, but I do because I love that as a child. I love thinking that the Tooth Fairy was coming. I love thinking that Santa Claus was on the way. However, my kids really know what it is. So we're all just living in this beautiful fairy tale.
This is a fun thing.
For me, when they come back home and they say, well, Mama, Jada said it ain't no Santa Claus. Oh, Jada must have showed her ass. That's why Santa Claus ain't coming to my house. I'm just going to clean it up when you get back over here.
Okay.
Yes, the Tooth Fairy is the only lie I tell. I like the Tooth Fairy. I got to do that one. I don't do Santa Claus, but I do the Tooth Fairy.
And Kirsten, I'm gonna jump in on that one because that's something I've been through. Every time what I've chosen to do is to get all the parents together. Whoever the custodial parent is, they got the right of way. If you don't like something, come get your kid, let them live with you. But this is what we do. You can't, and as Ann said, you can't parent over at my house. I can't parent at your house. When you get the kids for your visitation, I'll do whatever. But this is what we do here. You can't change that curfew at my house. If you want to let them stay up to 11 o'clock when they with you, have at it. But here, 9:30, phone call, stop. No matter what you're doing. And you got to have the conversation with the adults first, and you and your husband got to be on the same page before you bring in the outside parents. Because you two guys have got to be on the same page.
Right.
And then y'all can enforce everything else.
The number one question to ask in that scenario is what I'm doing hurting the well-being of the child?
Right.
Like if your answer to that question is no, then let us be. You know what I mean? If you know that my genuine interest is to love your child and nurture your child, respect my difference, but know that I'm always going to do what's in the best interest of your child.
Right. Agree. I agree.
And sometimes a insecurity kicks in. I did a thing and about the bonus kids calling you mom. And I had a couple of women who was like, oh, no, my child ain't calling nobody else mom. And I was like, are you serious? If this woman is treating your child good and your child wants to call this mom because the other kids are saying it, oh, no, she know who her real mom. That's it. She ain't going to call nobody else mom. And I was like, you've got to be joking. Most of us have 2, 3, 22 moms. Some of us got moms for days.
My son calls my next door neighbor daddy every time he see him.
So your child is happy and you would shit on your child's happiness because you feel a certain kind of way. I mean, it took her like 3 days to accept the fact. She's like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't do that. I said, yeah, because you're being selfish. I mean,
and if a child has developed that feeling on their own, for me, that's going to make me pick up the phone and call her like, you know what, baby, whatever you over there doing, I greatly appreciate it because my baby view you how they view me. Yeah. Okay, and I know my baby knows who their mother is, but for them to want to give you such a powerful title, thank you for whatever it is that you're doing.
That's right. You loving my baby, right? That's right. Yeah. And I'm all for it. I think kids should have all the love they can get, all the genuine love they can get. I will never stand in it. I don't care if I hate you. if my baby love you and you love that baby, I'm gonna step out the way and I'm gonna let y'all do y'all love thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about a village, but then we try to crush the village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, baby, I love the village because the village is how I get out on the weekend. Village,
Yeah, and I would say I agree with all of you all. I've been operating mainly like that, but my bonus children, they ask me a lot of things. They talk to me actually more than they talk to their dad or whatever, and they ask me a lot of questions because I am a very open person. And sometimes I'd be like, what did your mom tell you about that? Before I even respond. And I'm just learning how to navigate, especially with the oldest one, because she's really getting she's the oldest one of all the children, 12 years old. And we was just talking about cycle over the past weekend, and I asked her, have you talked to your mom about it? She was like, no, but she did give me a book or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop here and let you, because at that point I'm like, okay, let me stop. Maybe,
somebody's gonna feel like I'm stepping on their toes for that moment.
Right.
With that, Kirsten, because 12, I think we all know 12 is old. 12 is pretty damn old to be just learning about your cycle.
Yeah.
So like, was that like a tough thing for you? Like I love how you respecting the mom and not wanting to step on her toes, but like, is there a part of you that feel like this girl needs to know this thing? Like, it's kind of messed up that she's withholding to give her a book. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be judging mama, but I'm judging her. That's neglectful as hell. Like, what? Like, she really dropping the ball.
Yes, and because I know that, she's at home by herself a lot of times. And I know how I was at that age. So if she's sneaking someone in, and things like that, I need you to know and be like, have the knowledge of deeper, like talking about the cycle was just for me to lead up to about sex or whatever. And I need you to know, like, deeper knowledge, like make smart decisions when it comes to boys and things like that. And I was talking to my husband. I'm like, I think you need to start talking to her, and I'm telling him, but I don't think he's gonna do it. So I feel like it's up to me to do it or whatever. And so yeah, that's just my thing. I just want you to be very smart and know, because I didn't have that. I didn't have.
And the thing when it comes to cycles, it's not just about boys. It's about knowing about your body. What's happening to your body? What is taking place? This is what's going on. It's teaching her about her body. Like, how the hell do you not? I'm so baffled at that. How do you not teach your daughter about how her body operates? All it is a transition into becoming a woman. She should know this. Even if you never talk about boys, she should know what is happening to her body.
Absolutely.
But that ain't my.
It sounds like a mom that wants to trap her older child into still being her little bitty child.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of let those layers go and allow them to bloom. Or it's going to be your child who you didn't even talk to about having a period. Now you're explaining to them what an abortion is.
And this is one of those things, Kirsten, I would say to you that I've learned. When children ask you things, sometimes one of the worst things we can do is send them back to somebody else. They're asking us because they trust us and value us. To send them back means they're going to get more misinformation or nothing, and then they're going to miss the whole learning process. It's one of them times you may have to get them to do a pinky promise and swear they won't say nothing. But when they're asking you, go ahead and,
tell her.
Go ahead and have that conversation. And as we get into it, man, we talked yesterday, the 10-year-old girl that's pregnant. Her mom probably ain't never had the conversation with her about a cycle, so she didn't know nothing about it until she ended up pregnant. And this is what happened when we keep waiting for the right time. There is no right time. You can't, as y'all just said, 12 years old, it's too late to be having a conversation. Because clearly this girl, her body's saying, I'm ready to have a baby. And, nobody's probably ever had a conversation with her about any of this. And, the mother's neglectful, but that's a whole nother show we'll get into. But, and we were talking about parenting lessons. This is one of those things we need to start teaching our kids before they ask, so that when it does hit them, they already got a basis to know that we're comfortable with it. Because too many times as parents, and I'm noticing this with men and women, nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversation with their children. They want to have basic conversations. My conversation about the birds and the bees was, and this is a quote, I never forgot this: birds shit and bees sting. That was my whole sex talk. That was it.
And but like I was saying earlier, when you have the earlier you have the conversations, it's not uncomfortable talking to a 7-year-old, to an 8-year-old, because they just so curious. They're like, oh, okay, well, mom, well, what's that? And it's just such a innocent questioning. It's not an uncomfortable, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk about this. It's really, it doesn't feel uncomfortable as the parent. It's when they're 13, 14, they friends already having sex. They don't want to talk to you now. Now you want to come and say something. They don't want to. You got to.
And my friend has already told me it's great, and here you are telling me it's bad. No, I believe my friend, mom.
Right, I'm not. Right, and you know that peer pressure. Their peers have more of an influence on them by that time. So you need to get to them before them peers do.
Right, you know, daughters want to know, why does daddy stand up? Why does he have a tail? You know, and you don't need to wait for those things. And, you know, that ain't a conversation you need to wait till she's 15 to have. And it's one of those things that women, 95% of the time, you guys are the nurturers. You know, damn your work schedule, because that's just the way it is. You guys are the nurturers. And you know, a lot of guys expect it, and they don't even know that they expect that, because we want to stick to what we do. We want to maintain the household. We want to fix shit. We want to do this. But hey, you do all the teaching. You just tell me when I need to fix. And you know, it's one of those things. It's like people don't talk about it enough. What do I expect from you? You know, Kirsten, I know you say you homeschool, Trina homeschool. I'm all for it. I know, and you work in a
and my kids have to go to somebody building. Do you hear me? It's no way in this world my children gonna stay with me all day. Never. Shout out to y'all though.
I got one. I'm good. It's just one.
And you know, but these are great things. So as we transition, because all you ladies got girls, right?
Yeah.
Now we in the 21st century, where Roe v. Wade just set y'all back 1,000 years. How do y'all feel about this, and what's the effect you think it's gonna have on your girls?
Prayerfully, it does not affect my girl at all. Prayerfully, with the conversations that her and I have, the experiences that we go through, it won't be necessary. Prayerfully.
Right, and I'm with Ann on that. You know, I got my 8-year-old, but then I got my almost 19-year-old. We didn't already have the sex talking. She ain't no virgin no more, or whatever. I done already talked about birth control. She got her IUD. You know, I done already talked about the changes your life is going to go through when you have a baby, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, as we all know, as parents, we can't tell our kids what to do. The main thing we can do is try to teach them how to make smart decisions. And that's, you know, pretty much all we can do, you know?
Yeah.
So hopefully they make smart enough decisions to not be out here bunking people and getting pregnant recklessly to the point that they need an abortion, and that they take the precautions to not get pregnant until they actually are ready to have babies.
Right. I agree with both of you. I'm very open and honest. I am, you know, have told my son, at least, and my daughter, well, she's over there asleep, but that I have experience to abortion. So and I was very open and honest with my niece too when I was telling her about this, because my sister never, you know, I was having an abortion talk with her years ago, like 3 years ago. My niece is 16 now. She was 13 at the time. And I was telling her about abortion. I'm just real honest. And she went back into her mom, and her mom called me mad. My sister's mad. You told my baby. I said, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, you didn't. I'm sorry, she was asking. We was having a conversation or whatever. And so I think that's part of the reason too why I'm so hesitant about certain things. But all the children definitely come to me and ask me questions or whatever. But I'm open. I'm going to share my experiences with them and how, like, what I went through and why. Because one of the abortions I was made to get, and it was like, you know, that was very difficult for me. But it was a learning experience, something I learned a lot from. And I'm just gonna be open and honest and share my experiences, and hopefully they learn from me and don't go through the same thing. Right. And we'll figure it out. Like, you know, there are even other options. I mean, but we'll figure it out. If
and I still stand on my statement yesterday. It's not a step back, because we know in this world, where there's a will, there's a way. So if the young lady had it made up in her mind that she get an abortion, I don't give a damn how many clinics they close down. She's getting that abortion.
She gonna get okay. Right. and then hold up, don't act like we don't know about these herbs and stuff and all that. All that.
If I'm determined that you're not gonna make me here,
we gonna make this happen, okay?
Definitely.
But yeah, women are definitely doing a major disservice to young girls by withholding information or trying to keep them as their babies forever. They're gonna grow up whether you want them to or not, and that's probably the saddest thing about about the way that girls are being raised. I know some people don't like Kevin Samuels, whatever, but there was one thing he kept asking quite a few women. He would ask them, who taught you how to be a wife? And it's like, damn, I had to think about that shit. Like, damn, who taught me how to be? Ain't nobody teach me how to be no damn wife. Ain't nobody teach me how to be a girlfriend. Ain't nobody taught me how to be, and it just really highlighted how much we just keep dropping the ball when it comes to these young girls. Only thing we keep telling them is don't have sex. We're telling the boys to do whatever the hell they want, but we're not preparing these girls to be wives. Yet we want to preach to them about go get married. How you gonna tell them to go get married, but they don't even know how to perform their damn duties? Like we are really dropping the ball with keeping these secrets and holding all this stuff inside. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, because it don't have anything to do with the question, but somehow I got here.
It related. Well, I think that too. With my daughter, she surprised me just a few days ago. She's getting ready to go into high school this year. So I said, she called herself having a little boyfriend. So I said, well, baby, what you and Christian gonna do when y'all get to high school? And she was like, I don't know, Mom. I said, well, let me tell you this. She was like, I know. If he don't treat me like a queen, then that's just that. I was so proud of her in that moment, because that resonated with you. You understood. She said, Mommy, I know if he not treating me how Jabari be treating you, it's time for him to go. It showed me a lot of things in that moment, that you're watching how my boyfriend treats me, and you're understanding how you should also be treated. And regardless of how much this little puppy love you got, baby, he can be replaced, sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important. That's very important what you just mentioned. And because, kids need to not just hear, but they need to see their mother being loved by a man. They need to see a man being loved by a woman. They need to see what it looks like, not just watching TV. It messes you all up, but they need to witness that. And that is definitely one thing, when you asked the question, babe, earlier about, do we need a man? If we have kids, hell yeah, we need a man, because we need that man in place so we can teach these kids what a healthy, loving relationship looks like. Without you, I can't do that.
Absolutely. And prior to this, I can't say my daughter has seen me in some good relationships, but prior to this, she's never seen me on the level that I am now. My baby even told me, Mommy, I'm glad Jabari came around. She said, you've always been happy, but you're so much happier now. She don't even understand what that did to my soul. Like, baby, you just really put Mommy on a pedestal that you didn't even understand.
Right. That you didn't even understand.
Exactly.
And Michael says kids see what we do no matter what we tell them. And that's so important, because you can tell them a lot of things. And I tell people, you can't hide a bad relationship, because your kids hear things at night. They up when you think they're not. You can't just keep lying to them and think they don't know. And that's why so many of us grew up thinking fighting was normal. Dysfunctional relationships were normal, because no matter what they told us, we heard the fights at night when we got up to get some water or got some food. We heard. So it's like, oh yeah, people fight all the time. Oh yeah, they hit each other all the time. It's not a big deal. All right, so it's 7:47, and this is I think my second to last question, because this is another one I got from the guys, and it drove me batty, because there was this guy I was arguing with, and he said women want to be single parents. So I got three women here who have kids, who at some point you all have been single parents. Yes, Kirsten, before you got married, you were okay. So can we talk about this myth that women want to be single parents? Kirsten,
I really
okay, Trina, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, you did call her.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, it's silly. I don't even really think it's a whole bunch to talk about. There's very, 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 very few women who get pregnant and be like, I want to have a baby by myself. I want to do this all by myself. When we get pregnant, we automatically envision it's going to be us together. We are going to raise this child. We are going to be a family. If we end up single, we end up single and we do what we got to do. But this is not some shit we picture. I mean, like, come on now.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a very ignorant statement. He definitely hurt. My situation was very different. I even tried to make it work because one time I did get pregnant. Well, the first time I got pregnant and I wasn't with my son's father, but we tried to make it work. It didn't work. And that's okay. So then I moved, all my children have different fathers. And so I moved to my daughter's father. He caught me at a very vulnerable time in my life. I had just went through something very traumatic and it hurt. And he was there for me, supporting me, but hiding behind his face. And I figured that out and it didn't work. So I left. My thing is, I'm not going to stay with you just because I got a child with you.
There you go.
And I didn't even ever want to be that person, but I manifested the very thing that I despise. And in that, I learned a lesson to not judge women who have multiple baby fathers because I became that or whatever. So that's very ignorant. Every woman, well, mature woman that is wants something out of life and want a genuine love, want a man there to help her. Like Trina said, want our children to see a healthy relationship and how to grow up in a healthy household. That was something, I didn't experience. And that took a toll on me. It did. But I'm not gonna blame my parents because, like you say, they did the best that they could. They didn't know what they was doing was unhealthy for us. But you, at a certain point in your life, you come and change and you want to do things differently. We all these women on this panel, we want to do things differently for our children. And yet, like, being single, that's not, you not being your best self when you can have a partner and have help and have genuine love. That's even better. Like, absolutely. So
for me, I feel like the statement came from a man that basically said, because you won't comply with what I'm saying, you want to be a single mom. Because you won't do as I say, you want to be a single mom. If you don't obey me, you want to be a single mom. So in that aspect, yes, I want to be a single mom because I'm not going to obey you. I'm not going to follow you if you're incapable of being a leader. So if that means I have to raise my child on my own, then that's what I'll do. I would rather my child be from a broken home than a broke home any day. So if that means I have to go raise my child and have to, help them understand what happened individually, that's what I'll do.
And even with that, we'll choose to be a single mom out of necessity for the mental health of ourselves and our children, but it's not something we set out to do. Like, I think I'm gonna get pregnant and just raise this child by myself. We ain't thinking that shit. That's not what we thinking. I'm not gonna say clearly there's people who have had sex, just casual sex, and they got pregnant, but even still, they didn't want to do it by themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of people have to understand. People equate single parent to neediness. Single parent does not necessarily mean that I'm needy. Okay, it just means that there is a preference and we will be better off if we were together. Also, I don't think if I'm a single parent, that doesn't necessarily mean there's not a father around. It just means I'm a single woman. Okay, and I individually take care of my child on this side by themselves. So some men get caught up when you say, "Oh, I'm a single parent." Oh shit, she want me to take care of her kids. They ain't got no dad. No, they have a wonderful dad. I'm just a single mom that takes care of my kids over here. I'm not out trying to recruit dads.
Right, and even when I was a a single mom, you know, I would make it be known that I'm single in status. I'm not single in raising this child by myself, because as far as I'm concerned, single parenthood is when you are truly doing everything on your own. I ain't never did everything on my own, whether it was the daddy helping or whether it was my mom being a tremendous help. I did not raise my kids by myself. I didn't. So I don't even wear the single mom crown. I don't want the damn crown. Honestly, that's not a ass crown.
Village
I don't want it. You know, I didn't do this by myself. I gotta credit her. I'm gonna credit him. I'm gonna credit whoever helped me. I didn't do this by myself.
So most of those single moms who, like Trina said, is doing everything by themselves. Most of those women are very sad women, tired women, depressed women, because they are doing everything by themselves. I don't want to be her. So I definitely want to hold on to every single piece of my village, because I need my time away from my kids. Okay, I absolutely love the ground they walk on, but go to your grandma's house.
Okay,
like,
ain't you got somewhere to be for the summer?
So let me ask you something. With your first child, and we're talking strictly the first child now, did you put up with just a little extra shit to try to keep the relationship together?
For a couple months. Even when I was young, in my early 20s, my question would always be, as young as 22, where do I see us in a few years? If my vision of us was stuck in whatever year we were currently in for the rest of forever, I gotta go. And that's what happened with my oldest daughter. I saw me being stuck in the year 2004 forever, because he just wasn't doing anything. He was cool with just being a fuck boy. I wasn't okay with that. I had to go.
Absolutely. And that's you just spoke my story. It was very apparent that you were not going to be what you needed to be. And here we are 14 years later. I thank God that I left, because you are still that same individual.
Still. Yep.
Well, yeah, I dealt with, we didn't make it to a year. Okay, my situation was very interesting. So yeah, we were not together, but then we tried to make it work, and then he was very controlling because there was a large age difference. I was still young. He was already in his 30s. I liked to hang out and do certain things. He didn't want me to go certain places. I'm like, this not gonna work. So the last 3 months we stayed together, we actually wasn't together. He wouldn't leave till the lease was up. And so we just did our own thing while still taking co-parenting, got our child in the same home. So it was, but he loved his child to death. That's his only child to this day. And, he's an excellent parent. We're excellent co-parents, but we just was never great together.
Absolutely.
All right, Bo made a comment. I want to give Bo his, because I don't agree with it, but I'm gonna let y'all have at this. Bo says, my sisters don't particularly like the word obey and submit, even from a strong man.
I'm not your dog. I'm not your dog. I'm not your dog. Why do I need to obey? If I am holding my position down as a woman, why do I need to obey? Why do I need to submit? I'm going to be what you need me to be. Okay. I don't need to obey or submit to absolutely anything. When you start putting those type of different terminology, turns things into different things. To me, you're sounding narcissistic, like you need everything to be on you. It's not going to fly that way. You don't need to have those terms in order for me to allow you to be the man. That doesn't need to be said. I'm not obeying anybody.
Obey, I don't ever, that one, I'm sorry, I'm not with the obey thing. But as far as submit, the word submit doesn't bother me whatsoever, because I understand what the meaning of the word means. It just means you're giving into someone else's will. When we think about it, we give into our boss's will, we submit to our bosses, we submit to our children, we submit to all kinds of people at times that we may not necessarily want to.
Well, let me say this, Trina, in that regard, what's understood don't got to be explained nor vocalized.
Right.
So when you go to start saying you need to submit to me, I'm thinking, whoa, babe, wait a minute.
Right. And usually the men who say that, they are really asking for control. Like, Darren never asked me to submit to it. It naturally happened. But the same way that I naturally submit to him, he submits to me too. I can't
Absolutely.
You know, I sit here and I think sometimes I'm like, damn, how many times has this man told me no? Shit, this man ain't never told me no.
Come on, you just don't listen.
Right.
I say no all the time.
Told me no. I always get what I want. I probably
you be taking advantage of you take advantage of me. I'm glad you said it for the cameras. I be saying no. Stop using me for my body.
Inside. It don't just actually come out.
Right. Yes, but you know, like we both submit to each other. It's a give and a take. Like you said, what's understood don't need to be said. He ain't never said, "Are you willing to submit to me?" What? Wait a minute.
Because when you say it now, I'm a little taken back. Like, babe, what are you talking about?
Right.
Because if I haven't already shown you that, you know, as your mate, then what are we doing?
Right.
And one of the things, Boda, and I tell you this all the time, you use the end of phrase, even from a strong man. Who's determining this strong man? It's the same way when a woman tells me she's a good woman. Who determines this? Her or the guy she's dating? Because we will call ourselves all kind of things while we're in denial. Every man who thinks he's strong, if you ask the woman, I had a guy fussing at me because I didn't teach Trina how to talk to men, because Trina was talking to this guy like he was a girl. And I said, dude, it ain't that she don't know how to talk to men. She just has no respect for you because you're a bitch. So she's talking to you like that. Y'all. But you need it. She don't talk to me like that. But it's you. But you know, and I try to get people to understand. What you perceive may not be what you put now, because we all think we're great people, but that ain't what the streets say. That ain't what your friends say. That ain't what on the bathroom wall. So you know, when Bo said the obey and submit, and I get it, and I said men don't even like those words. Then he said he obeyed his parents and he obeyed the law. So I asked him, what about your woman? Because like Trina said, I submit to her like she submits to me. There can't be a one-way street, and we want to do things, you know. Everybody don't want to operate in fairness, and that's fine. Every couple does what works for them, you know, whether it's finances, who leads this, who does that. But that's one of those things that you should do in the vetting process. I don't date women who don't want to date a gentleman. If I can't open the door for you, we can't date. My life is just that simple. We can have sex 2 or 3 times, but we cannot date because I refuse to date a woman who won't let me treat her like a queen. But that's her choice. We can't keep trying to push ourselves on people who don't want us. Women do the same thing. They date somebody that they want who doesn't want them. And they keep trying to tell him, oh, you're going to miss out on a good thing. I don't want you, so how am I missing out on a good thing? But we overvalue ourselves and we like people who don't like us. And we take that competition to an unhealthy level because you're going to make me like you. And then when I treat you like shit, you're going to be mad. But I already told you up front you weren't my type. And this whole submission thing, the obey, the independent woman, or the women who want to be treated like equals. I don't know many women who say they want to be treated like equals. And I'm gonna let you ladies answer this. That minute in the home, they were talking about the workplace. They weren't talking about most women that I've met want to be the woman in the house. They want to be the woman. They don't want to be equals in the household.
Right. Right.
And
yeah.
I
want to be that soft creature. I want to be all of that, all of that womanly stuff. I want to feel like a woman. I don't want to feel like a man in my house. Like you said, when women ask, oh gosh, I hate when men say, oh, y'all want equal rights. Yeah, we want equal pay, damn it. We want equal housing opportunities. We want equal stuff like that. It didn't have anything, all of the things that women were begging for equal rights to didn't have anything to do with the household and how she's treated in the house and whose role it didn't have nothing to do with that. But go off, y'all, and y'all reasoning to not step up to the plate and behave in the manner that men are supposed to behave.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now I was just gonna say, when you are, see, the thing is, men and women, but mostly men, we got to get back to knowing our role. Like, you got to know what it means to be a divine masculine. Like what does your full masculinity look like? And
ain't nobody been taught that. These young boys don't have a clue.
Right. But then when you learn how to operate in that, then you get a woman who is comfortable with operating in her divine feminine. Like, it goes hand in hand, and we're forgetting that. Like, so I think that's something that needs to be came back to. But yes, women want to go out and have their own, because 2 checks is better than, we both bring in something into the household, but we don't want to be. Yes, I enjoy being a homeschooling mom. I enjoy being at home when I need to. I enjoy cooking food, but I make my money from the house as well. Like but I enjoy being, like, me and my husband submitting to each other, like y'all said. And we have get back in your role and know your role. Don't just
And it's not just the boys. It's not just that the boys aren't being taught that, because like I referred to Kevin Samuels earlier, who's teaching these girls how to be wives? So true. The women are dropping the ball with the women, with the girls too. These girls run around like hot girl summers. I still have yet to listen to any of their music. I'm gonna listen to that song one damn day to find out what it is. But that's like what they aspiring to. So these girls are being raised with an independent mindset. I don't know what era y'all from. I think y'all are around my age, the era of the crack babies. It's like we kind of, it's like we messed up by default, not on purpose, not deliberately, but a lot of the women that came from our generation that had the crack parents that weren't raising them, they weren't even raised their damn self. So they don't know how to raise their kids. All they're concerned about is giving their kids the things that they didn't have, and not in the way that us three are. We're worried about the mental and the emotional, but there's a lot of them that's just concerned with giving them the physical, the tangible items that they didn't have. And you no longer have to respect anybody. You don't have to respect men. You don't have to respect elders. You don't have to respect no damn body. You be independent. You don't need a man. You don't need, so the women are dropping the ball on the girls too. It's both.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And we already over, so I got to do one last thing, then we're gonna go, so I don't get in trouble. And I say this with no pun or disrespect intended, but fellas, when you want to be the leader and you don't want to do things half and half, you got to do more than just provide penis. It does cost to be the boss. So you need to make sure that her life can be a little bit more simpler, so that she can submit to you. I can ask Trina to do more, because Trina can work from home and not worry about whether or not the rent is going to get paid. If Trina had to go out and work a 56-hour week job, I can't sit there and put demands on her because I'm the man on this, when she got to work just as hard to support the household. When she doesn't have to worry about those things, I don't really have a problem asking for things, because you ain't got to leave the house.
Time to do it.
Right. So, and I paid their cost. And a lot of fellas don't get that, because if we're both doing 50-50, which is what I hate, but that doesn't work for me. If we're both doing 50-50, then it's hard to try to get 70-30 treatment when she put in as much effort outside the house, and then she got to come home too, and you want her to do stuff at home. I don't cook. I'm sorry. But yeah, Trina cook, and I still bring home food 2 or 3 times a week, because I don't want that to be her sole responsibility. But she don't have to go outside. So yeah, I don't have to hear her saying, "Baby, I've been working all day. I'm tired too." Yeah, she been homeschooling and taking care of the house, but she ain't had to leave the house where we both was out 8-9 hours, and then come here. We got to do stuff at home. And fellas don't understand. You can get certain things, but you got to give up certain things. And if you vet the right woman, you'll get those naturally. Trina will ask me what I want to eat. And sometimes I'm like, it don't matter. Go ahead, Ro. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to jump in, because I hate the whole term 50-50, because it's ridiculous. If we both given 100% in a relationship, fall into whatever the role is you need to be doing.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 100% effort. Stop all when you cut out all this stuff about 50-50 on the bills and all that nonsense. It's about being a complete and giving my all to you, just like I want you to give your all to me. And that's what is needed. Right. Because ultimately at the end of the day, because let's be real. I was one of my ex-girlfriends. She was an accountant. She came out of college making 6 figures. Guess what? If she needed me to step back and I'm always find a hustle. I ain't gonna never be no dude to just sit at the house and not do nothing. But if her career is that important to her, I knew that when I got with her. I'm going to push her up and lift her to be the best version of who she's supposed to be. And I'm going to say the last thing I'm saying, because y'all was talking about it, you said it again. Submission doesn't mean dictatorship. Because even if you want to use, I know DVP ain't the most religious person, but I tell people, even if you want to use the biblical sense of Jesus, he was a servant leader. That's what that whole thing comes from. It submission, and when somebody submits to you, that's because they see the work that you do, and they know that they can trust you with what needs to be done. But I ain't gonna get into it because you're right. We're over, and I wasn't saying nothing, but it's all good.
And that's all I want to say. That women, once you vet them, the ones that you think you want, make sure that's what you want, and they'll give you what you seek if you vet them properly. If you want, some men aren't alphas, and they like to be led. That's okay. Ain't no need to shame in them. They need that. But as strong as these women are, Anna's a gangster. Trina from New York, so she a thug. I ain't made up my mind about Kirsten yet. I think she a low-key gangster. But guess what? When they met the right man, they all became overly feminine. They didn't want to be gangsters like they had to be in the streets or at work. But they needed somebody who was, and I'm sure that if we had more time, they could tell you about relationships where they were the leader.
And that's why I say, like with our conversations, when we're talking, I see a lot of guys be like, oh, well, we'll do this when women do that. Well, we'll do this when women do that. When the men step up, women, we naturally fall into our roles. So absolutely. I think that if we're going to fix this whole relationship imbalance thing, the men need to step up and we will fall back.
Absolutely.
Hey, I want to agree with what Tree said, but I'm going to say something, Darren, that we're going to have to probably end up doing a whole show on because I'm going to end up pissing some people off. And this is something that y'all need to realize. If you really subscribe to the whole alpha, beta, gamma, whatever different types of males there are, guess what? Guess what? Alpha males are horrible for relationships.
Mm-hmm. And most women don't want them.
Because alpha males are narcissists. Yep. They don't care about other people.
Yep.
And so people, and this is what kills me about people not understanding what they're jumping into when they say this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, damn, do y'all even read what the hell you talking about?
No, they just repeating what they done heard. That's all.
And it sound good.
Yeah, and it sound good. That's it. They don't know what but then, when you see people talk that stuff, that lets you know who to steer clear from.
Yep.
So, I'm glad we had this 2 hours and 9 minutes. I'm gonna probably get in trouble. So I'm gonna let you ladies give some parting shots and tell us about. I know Kirsten, you got your little sales thing going on. So I'm gonna start with you. Tell us what you got.
Okay. I am a vintage reseller. I have some modern pieces as well, but most of the clothes I resell is vintage. This is a vintage top that I'm wearing. Rare, well, if you're all into vintage, you know what vintage clothing is from the 80s, 90s. I have some pieces from the early 2000s, some 70s dresses as well. And you can find me at the Eccentric shop. That's Eccentric, ECCENTRIK. Oh, that's my main page. Shop with 2 P's and an E. I have a Facebook page and Instagram. I haven't uploaded on Facebook in a minute, but I'm going to be going live on there soon. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And and that's it. I also am a braider. I braid hair as well from the house. So that's what I do. And
You playing R. Kelly when you're doing it?
Huh?
You playing R. Kelly when you're doing it?
No, I be listening to mine. It depends.
Sure, I'm messing with you. He got that hair braiding song.
Make sure you send me the link so I can share them. And when I talk about it, I can share them. So make sure you inbox me the link so I can make sure the page follows them and I can share them.
Okay, I will. And I just want to leave y'all with this. Your perspective tells a lot about you and who you are. Just keep learning and growing and evolving, knowing your true self and standing in your power, and continue to heal, because we all have things we need to heal from. It's a lifelong process. And I love y'all. That's it. Good night.
Amen. Good night, dear.
Hi, Principal Ratchet Ann.
That's me. That's my name. I don't do nothing on the side. Okay, so I ain't got no link for you. I ain't got none of that. Okay. I come home and I drink when I get off. Okay, so if y'all want to send me a bottle or something, I can send y'all a link to send me a bottle. Okay, but that's it. I appreciate this show. I appreciate you guys giving me 2 hours of adult talk. These are the things that I fiend for. I'm with my kids, and if not my kids, somebody else's kids, pretty much all day, every day. So I live for these moments when I can have adult talk. I can let my hair down. I don't have to be politically correct. And I can be around like-minded but different-minded individuals. So I really appreciate this moment, and I hope you guys have an amazing week.
Oh, tell us about your show now.
You know what show I'm on.
You said you could do a show on Wednesdays.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Said, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. What I said was,
actually, you did.
Said that we were guests on another show, and I corrected you and said I'm not a guest on another show. I'm a host on another show. You're not going to demote me to a guest when I'm a whole host.
I'm gonna tell you.
You said it was Wednesdays. You said you did the show on Wednesdays.
It's on Tuesdays.
Okay, because I was like,
correction.
Okay,
Mr.
yeah.
Roy, what your face said? Why you popping in and out, Mr. Roy?
Yeah, I thought you was doing another show. I was like,
no.
Tell me about
Normally Wednesdays is game night at my house, so I actually pushed game night to tomorrow because this is what we do tonight. So normally it would have been a house full of people, Monopoly, checkers, whatever. That's what happens in my house on Wednesdays. No electronics, no outside, absolutely anything, no friends, nothing but family, games all night.
Hold on, and how are your kids?
I have a 14-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh, hell, we may be coming over for game night. We come with an 8-year-old, so yeah, we like games. We like games.
This is my way for my daughter to be able to hang out with her friends, and because I don't let her go nowhere. This is a way for our family to try to get together once a week. We discuss family news and whatever. We just get together. We just love on each other at least once a week.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how you and Trina are not gonna be in the same room because I don't trust y'all together. But yeah, we coming over for game night.
Me and Trina gonna be best friends. You better
let
me know.
Oh no.
Best friend Ann.
All right, Queen, go ahead and tell them who you are, what's going on. Hold on, Ann, you got any parting shots you want to give other than you finna go drink and
no, I just want to say thank you so much. Like I said, this is very enjoyable for me. I enjoy getting outside of the kid talk. I enjoy not saying stop it. I enjoy not making noodles. I enjoy not making a cup. So I just really appreciate you guys in this moment. Thank you for having me.
You know you'll be back though.
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead, Queen.
I don't have many parting words. I was trying to think of something that sounded good and philosophical, but I'm at a loss right now. I'm the better half of DVP, Trina Marie. I do lots of stuff on the side, but I don't want to do nothing right now. I just don't. I don't. So I'm not gonna promote anything right now. I'm trying to just scale it back. I do too much. I know how to do too much, and that's my problem. So I just want to chill out. It's summertime. My kids is gone. One in the Army, one's with her daddy in New York, and I just want to be left alone. Have a good night.
Ooh, okay, and I'm the host, the lesser half, I guess, of Random Thoughts with DVP, the old dude, all that. They've been dogging me the whole show. I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm calling ARP, and I'm gonna get my representative to fix this. I appreciate y'all for spending 2 hours and some change with me, and for those of y'all that let me on y'all TV screen in cyber time, Bo, Michael, everybody who helped participate. I'm gonna get in trouble. Bobby, I appreciate y'all. You know how we do. We're gonna do this again in not 2 weeks. We're gonna do this in 6 days and 22 hours and some change. And until next time, y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.
Be blessed, guys.